former Biden surrogate Kevin Wallen, as well as radio host Tony Katz. Gentlemen, it's been a while. Thanks so much for joining the program. So, Tony, I just want to go to some of the media coverage because I just don't think it's fair. When you look at the White House cocaine coverage, ABC 0 seconds, CBS 0 seconds, but NBC, they gave them 40 seconds to this scandal. Do you think this is fair?
Well, you see, you're using the word fair. The correct term is non-existent. The coverage is non-existent. This isn't actually a funny story. I loved how the political left was outraged. How dare you say this belongs to Hunter? Well, I don't know if it belongs to Hunter Biden. It might belong to Dr. Jill Biden. It might belong to Miguel Cardona. It might belong to Jennifer Granholm or Mark Milley. Nobody knows, and that's the point. You've got a camera everywhere in that White House. You absolutely can figure this out, yet Karine Jean-Pierre wants to tell the White House press corps to their face, well, they're not sure. The Secret Service, through that Politico story, we don't know if we'll ever figure out what happened here. I think it was a law enforcement official who said that. It is beyond a question of fair or not fair. It's about existent and non-existent. When something happens with the political left in this Biden White House, it's as if our need to know, our right to know, is non-existent.
Kevin shakes his head, brother. You disagree?
Well, I disagree that it belongs to Joe Biden, to Tony's point. Listen, the Secret Service is fully capable to investigate this. It is horrifying that this substance was found because it does, to your point, Lawrence, in the intro, speak to a national security issue. There are a number of individuals in and out of the West Wing in that entrance by the Situation Room. The National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, was talking about a renovation specifically to that Situation Room. A lot of workers in and out of that space in recent weeks and days. But it is important that we get to the bottom of this because of the national security implications involved in something like this.
Tony?
Can we discuss, Lawrence, just something else that this leads to? A lack of moral strength from President Joe Biden. Where was he to say, this is absolutely unacceptable in my White House? I won't accept any of this. This is not the message we should be sending to America's kids. Where was the stand-up strength from him, from the press secretary, from anyone? And the answer is it's nowhere. That might be more despicable than the cocaine to begin with.
This is what Biden said, Kevin. I'll get you to react on the other side. Let's watch. Come on, guys, Kevin. Come on.
Listen, Lawrence, this is being addressed at the appropriate level, which is the White House press secretary and the National Security Advisor, which spoke extensively about this past week, answering dozens of questions from reporters from all different outlets. That's where the process should play out. This president has a very strong opinion that is well documented about drug use in this country. He actually does not support the legalization of marijuana, for example, on the federal level. So this president is very outspoken when it comes to the harms of drugs in our society. Yeah. He's taken a very compassionate stance with his son and very direct. Well, Lawrence,
that's the problem, though.
Lawrence, well, that involves a family member.
Lawrence, when he was locking up black and brown kids with the crime bill, but all of a sudden, when it becomes his son, all of a sudden, it needs to be compassion. And he tips the scale with the DOJ. I just don't understand that.
Well, I think we need a lot of compassion in our lives. But the
reason why I bring this to the attention, though, Kevin, is because he's already struggling with black voters. Do you think this is going to play well with them?
I think black voters are more interested in their economic situation, on crime on the streets, which is why we're hiring thousands of more cops. I think that's what black and brown communities are focusing on: security in their communities, drug use in their communities, but also economics in their communities. And that's why this president has a strong record when it comes to black and brown Americans, talking about the economy, talking about funding police. You can yell and holler, Tony, and interrupt, but that's what these communities are interested in.
We only got 30 seconds, Tony.
They are also discussing the very conversation of fairness. Maybe you haven't been listening like the rest of America has been listening. It's one set of rules for this group. It's another set of rules for that group. They are arguing that it's based on the color of skin. We're arguing it's based on elitism. You cannot make the claim that Joe Biden has had any level of moral leadership here, and you cannot make the claim that the Secret Service is investigating, so we should be quiet. This happened in our White House.
I would love to see Republicans take on discrepancies in sentencing. I would love to see Republicans champion that, but it hasn't been over the last couple of years.
Gentlemen, I missed y'all. I appreciate the spirit of the debate. We'll do it again next week.
Always a fiery time.